Hello folks, I hope you're doing great. Myself, I'm doing fine. Welcome to Verified Soul and to this video. Now, let's look on the expiry of documents before the DV lottery interview. So you are out there and you are a winner of the DV lottery and you're now waiting for your case to become current. Or you're there and you are already current and you are waiting for your second notification letter. So whichever of you're wondering about a document that you have or the documents that you have regarding the expiry. Some of you might be having a passport that has remained with just some few months before it expires. Or you have a police clearance certificate that it's already expired, or others, it's about to expire, and you are now worried about this. Now, let me discuss two important documents here and their expiry, and that is the passport and the police clearance certificate. Those two documents. And let's begin with the obvious one, the passport. The passport is a very important document, especially during your interview. That is one of the documents that you can't attend the interview without. And remember, guys, that it is the passport both for yourself and for your derivatives. You know, some of us filled the DS260 forms with only our passports because we had not obtained the passports for our derivatives. And up to now, as you are waiting for the interview appointment, you should have obtained those passports and filled their details in the DS260 form. Because both your passport and those of your derivatives will be needed during the interview. In any case, where do you expect the visas to be stamped if you don't have the passport? And remember that you need a visa for each one of your family members. So where will they be stamped if you don't have the passport? So you need that document. Now, if you have a passport, either yours or your derivatives, that has remained with less than 6 months before they expire, and this 6 months is a time from the interview. If your passport is less than 6 months to its expiry from the time of your interview, then that passport won't be accepted. It will be rejected in the interview until you provide the valid passport. And a valid passport is any passport that has its expiry beyond 6 months from the time of the interview. It should have excess of 6 months at the time of interview before it expires. So what do you do? If you have a passport that's just about to expire, you don't have an alternative, you don't have another option. You are required to look for a replacement. So don't weigh chances. If your passport is just about to expire, look for a replacement before you are scheduled for an interview. That's straightforward and as easy as that. Let's come to the police clearance certificate. And this is where a lot of issues arise, because we know that the police clearance certificate, in other countries, they call it the good conduct. That police clearance certificate is crucial for every member of your family in the application that is above the age of 16 years. That one we know. And let's understand this about its expiry. What is the expiry for a police clearance certificate? Number one, if you didn't know, is that The police clearance certificate expiry is based on the United States government standards. It's not based on your country's standard. It's based on the United States or the US Embassy's standard. And what is the US Embassy expiration standard for a police clearance certificate? It is that all police clearance certificate presented to the embassy must not have exceeded 2 years since the application. From the time you applied or you received your police clearance certificate to the time you presented to the embassy, it should not have exceeded 2 years. And that simply says that based on the US Embassy or the US government, the expiration period for a police clearance certificate is 2 years. 2 years. So if your police clearance certificate has not gone over 2 years since you got it, then your police clearance certificate is valid. And this is regardless of whether in your country it expires within 6 months. That aside, even if your police clearance certificate has gone past your expiration date as per your country, but has not exceeded 2 years, that passport is considered valid during the interview by the embassy. So, if you are there and you're waiting for your interview and you have this police clearance certificate that is 7 months old or 12 months old, that clearance certificate is still valid based on the US Embassy timing. So you can present an expired police clearance certificate from your country, but with the embassy, that police clearance certificate will still be valid. Now, let's look at these two people. If you have not applied for a police clearance certificate and you are a selectee, a DV winner, and you are waiting for your second notification letter, then depending on how long your country takes to produce a police clearance certificate for you after you have applied, then you can decide on when to apply for it. In the country that I come from, it only takes up to a week, several days up to a week, for you to get your police clearance certificate after application. And most of the countries, they take 1 day up to 7 days before they issue the police clearance certificate. And if you come from such a country, that means that even if you receive your second notification letter and then you apply for police clearance certificate, it will be out even before the interview. So you will be safe. So if you come from that country, you just should wait for the second notification letter and then apply for it. And that is if you don't have the police clearance certificate. The person number 2 is if you have the police clearance certificate already. If you have it already, just consider the time of issuance. When were you issued with that police clearance certificate? If by the time you go for the interview, the police clearance certificate will not have gone beyond 2 years, then that certificate is still valid. But if by the time of your interview, it will be as old as over 2 years, then you need to replace it with another one. I hope that point is very clear. Also, as I come to the end of the video, remember that you are required to obtain the police clearance certificates of all the countries that you have lived in from the age of 16. So if you have ever moved out of your country and lived in a country other than your country, based on the conditions that I discussed in a video, and that video I will attach it above here, then you need to obtain the police clearance certificate from those countries. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it is good for you and you've gotten it right. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you're new, please consider subscribing and push the bell on. Push the bell on. And let's meet in the next video.